Welcome back to A Place by the Sea. Today I'm helping Ralph and Judy Bell find a new home with the potential to run a bed and breakfast here on the Norfolk coast. Judy and Ralph Bell are looking to semi-retire and relocate to Norfolk. They've never visited the area before, but they're looking for a peaceful new life on the coast. Ralph's a clerk of works, and with all his construction knowledge, he's a difficult man to please. Judy is looking for a big garden for her chickens and goats. So far, though, nothing I've shown them has really set them alight. So eager to continue our search, we headed north to Cromer, otherwise known as the Gem of the North Coast. It's world famous for its crabs, and because of its easterly position, it's said to be the last bit of land before you get to the North Pole. Cromer's one of the big towns on the Norfolk coast, but it's still got quite a laid-back, calm feel to it. What do you think?
The initial reaction is it's quite nice, it's peaceful,
yes.
And the holiday season doesn't last forever. And then the rest of the time you would have the area for yourself.
Yes. Set on a spectacular cliff top, Cromer is an Edwardian seaside resort whose soft, chalky cliffs have been battered by the North Sea for centuries. The coastline has had a stormy past, earning itself a somewhat menacing name, Devil's Throat, after 100 ships were lost here on one stormy night alone. However, in the 19th century, the writer and poet Clement Scott turned Cromer's image around, renaming the area Poppyland after all the poppies that grew on the surrounding cliffs. And soon after, it became a fashionable holiday destination with its 1920s beach huts, Victorian pier, and wide sandy beaches. Cromer's recently undergone a regeneration programme funded by the EU. Because of this, and with places like the fashionable Wells Next to the Sea being just down the road, property prices are expected to rise. However, last year, the average house price actually went down £10,000. So there are some great bargains to be had if Judy and Ralph are prepared to do a bit of work. I found them a house just on the outskirts of town. This large detached 4-bedroom house has 3 reception rooms and is just a 10-minute walk from the sea. Judy and Ralph have the flexibility here to have room for a B&B, and at £250,000, they'd have money left over to make all the necessary alterations. Bruce Page, the estate agent, came to show them around.
Close to come through here into the more formal dining room.
Okay. Thank you.
Double aspect with the traditional sash windows. And you've got a serving hatch through there from the kitchen
to the
breakfast room there.
Yeah.
You've got another serving hatch the other side, which goes through to another room. So you've got the option of guest dining rooms this side or that side. And you've got your double doors leading here through to a sitting room, which is again a double aspect room with quite big windows and double French doors. Yeah, going out to the patio. You come through here into the breakfast room as it is now, or could be your dining room.
Yeah. That's a nice sized room.
Yeah. And that's the serving hatch through there from the room we were in previously. You've got your cooker that's got a slot-in cooker at this point.
I quite like this.
Yes. The units are livable with. You don't like them, I can see.
I don't like them at all. They're hideous.
Got quite a nice balustrade to the landing here.
It's a good open
it's a
staircase.
nice landing, that, isn't it?
Lots of light.
Got a bit of light. You've got quite a big window there. And finally, we come through here into the main bedroom.
Oh,
Which again, it's a double aspect room with 2 big
is
windows.
better.
That's
Yes.
a better room, isn't it?
It's much better.
Yes.
And this is another original bedroom.
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Back to the garden, onto the patio.
Oh, it's nice.
Catching the sun most of the day. It's south virtually that way, and it sort of comes on round for the evening.
So.
There's a little outbuilding over there.
It is, isn't it? A little Wendy house.
Indeed.
Well, it goes right round, though. Secret passage.
This is nice.
I like this. It's a nice garden. Yes.
If Judy and Ralph wanted to convert the loft to make more bedrooms for a B&B, it would cost them around £20,000.
Kitchen and dining room, or the kitchen and breakfast area, were good because of the size. The size was good.
I like the size of that. I like the size of that. I
Take
like
those
the
kitchen
landing
fittings
shape.
out. Yes.
I like the landing shape.
Take those fittings out, you can put new fittings in, and that would be a first-rate kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
Things were looking up. At least I managed to impress them with the kitchen. Next, we went further north up the coast to West Runton, a popular coastal village on the main road into Cromer. Here I'd found a semi-detached house with fabulous sea views, but it needs a lot of work. It's well under budget though, at £215,000. The estate agent Jeff Cox took Ralph and Judy round the house.
And this is the living room.
It's a good size.
And these are not original beams, are they?
No, they're decorative beams.
Excellent.
If you look straight out the window
Straight out.
from the ground floor,
Yes.
you can actually see the North Sea right the way across.
Yes, you've got a virtually 180-degree
You have.
panoramic view.
I think you could do something with it.
It could do a lot with it, actually.
And this is the kitchen. As you can see, this part of the kitchen has actually been built on. You've got the beam there. So that was probably the original kitchen.
Make a really nice big kitchen.
What's the loft hatch for?
This particular bit is only one story. This is a ground floor story, so that is the loft space above this particular extension. And this is the dining room.
Ooh, never guess.
So this has been extended as well?
This has been extended as well. As you can see the archway here.
Yes.
At the moment it's being used as a secondary lounge, but you could use it as your own personal lounge.
Yes.
And have the guests' lounge overlooking the sea with the real fireplace.
Yes, exactly, yes.
But you've got a lovely aspect out to the rear garden.
Ideally, Ralph and Judy wanted a detached house, but I was keen for them to see it because it's a prime location for bed and breakfast. They've got fantastic sea views. And with the house and garden, there's so much potential for them to work on it and make it something special. But will it be too big a job for them to handle?
And here we have the master bedroom. And the first thing you'll notice is the fantastic view.
Oh, lovely sea view, isn't it? Yes. The windows are quite... You see,
Yes, they've got the step in the window.
steps in the window.
And so you can have a good look at the rear aspect of the house. And this is south-facing, so you get the sun virtually all the time.
Right, yes.
And there we have the garden behind us. As you can see, it stretches right the way up to the top there, which is about 120 feet away.
Yes.
And it is slightly overgrown at the moment. Wouldn't take a great deal to get back.
Just a couple of
But
goats.
it's, once again, you may want to consider putting in your own vegetable plots.
A nice vegetable plot would be nice, and organic vegetables.
The garden is, I mean, for all it's
It's a-
overgrown, and it sort of, this compensates for the work that's going to be needed to do to the house.
Because this house is on the main road into Cromer, they could ask up to £30 a night here in the peak of the summer season.
Initially, when we drove up and saw it from the outside, I just didn't like it at all. You had the noise of the traffic, the house itself is neglected, it's in poor condition. And it wasn't until we went into the garden that suddenly the whole thing opened up. It was like a Pandora's box opening up.
Yeah, you saw your chickens running in the
And you could
garden.
see the chickens, you could see the workshop, the pond, the stream.
I chinged them 2 projects they'd be able to get their teeth into, but would Ralph and Judy be prepared to put in some hard renovation work? We caught up for a chat at a hotel in Cromer. So we took a look at the 1920s Cromer house. What did you think of the location of that property?
Location was good.
So it wasn't too far from anything. It was...
That was at the proximity
Yeah.
to all the facilities of the town.
What did you think about the house itself?
The house itself was nice. The main sitting room, the kitchen, the dining room, and the 2 bedrooms were excellent.
And what did you think about the garden? Was that a good size for you?
Yes, the garden was good. There was a potting shed there. Basically, you could mess around with it and turn it into a very nice garden.
You know where you have a wooden fence going
Yes.
on the left-hand side? They sold off garden on the opposite side of that fence to a
Why
local
it's
developer.
got a new wooden fence.
Yes,
Ah,
yes. A
yes.
local developer's bought
Yes.
it and actually got planning permission to build on that area within the next 5 years. Would that provide you with concerns?
I think the only concern would be the actual construction. People are going around backwards and forwards, banging. Would it be 7 days a week? Would it be 5 days a week? I've no worries about the construction itself. I think it was sad that half the garden had disappeared. That would have been a cherry on the cake, that one.
Yes.
So we looked at the Sea View semi in West Runton. Now, what do you think about the location of that house?
I like the location.
I did.
You're right on the strip, straight into Cromer,
Yes.
so it would be excellent for passing trade if you were to set up a bed and
The
breakfast.
initial reaction was, main road. And then when you sort of thought about it in the cold light of day, it's the right place.
And what do you think of all the sea views? Because all of the rooms at the front of the house face onto
They
that.
were excellent. They were worth paying for.
And the good thing is that the headland that you face onto is actually designated countryside, which means that the council are against any development that would destroy the natural beauty. So you're less likely to be at risk of eyesores coming up and destroying that view.
Well, that's good news, that.
What did you think about that garden?
The garden's brilliant. I think if there was a turning point in that property, it was when you went into the garden.
I think that house has so much potential to really reorganise that space and make it suitable to your needs.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, it's on at £215,000. Does that tempt you, having that much money under budget, to be able to do exactly what you want to do? little
Yes,
smile.
yes.
It gives you food for thought, doesn't it?
One of the things we discussed was knocking down all the walls and rebuilding the inside.
And living in a caravan.
And living in a caravan on the front.
Plenty of space out front to do that.
Yes.
So out of the two homes, which do you prefer?
Sea View Semi.
Yes.
That is the one for us. Well, for now, anyway.
As this is Ralph and Judy's first visit to Norfolk, I wanted to give them a good introduction to the area. So I arranged for them to meet Keith Skipper, who's Norfolk born and bred. He's written 20 books about the county and has even formed his own dialect group to keep the Norfolk language alive.
Get out of somebody, would it? So for us being outsiders and from the area of Newcastle, will it be all right for us to move into this area?
Well, we're going to have a slight problem, aren't we, regarding the dialect and the way we talk. I think once we get over those particular little barriers, I'm sure you'll find the people just as warm and welcoming as they are up north.
I've heard that there are 100 things you've got to do before you're known as a true Norfolk person.
But I think there are certain things you have to read an Arthur Ransom book before you know, Swallows and Andersons is a good start. You've probly read that, have you?
I've done that.
So you're halfway there. How about a crab for breakfast? You've got to have a crab for breakfast, haven't you?
Oh, sorry. I can do that.
And a bloater or a herring for tea from Yarmouth. Watching the sunrise over Baconsthorpe Castle or Castle Rising. I'm sure you'll enjoy all these wonderful little things that make you out to be a real Norfolk person. But talking proper is the first prerequisite. Talking proper. Yeah. I can give you a crash course in broad Norfolk. If the first morning you walk down the street and you bump into a dear lady at the bottom of the road, how you getting on, my old booty?
How are you getting on, my old booty?
It's not booty, it's booty.
Booty.
That's Bernard Matthews' fault. He keeps putting two O's in, which would mean E-W.
How are you getting on, my old booty?
That's booty. That's not booty. That's my old booty. How you getting on, my old booty? I think it's going to take a long while. I mean, but language is a wonderful thing, and because you always remember that Norfolk's out on a limb. It's on the road to nowhere. No one passes by. No one comes to Norfolk without a reason why. You have to have a reason to come here, don't you?
Yes.
It's not a place you happen across. Yes. And I think it will always be slightly different to the rest of England.
So, with us coming from London, what's it going to be like living here?
There's plenty of things to do. I mean, it's a wonderful natural playground, isn't it? And you don't have to rush. I mean, the coastline, if you take that coastline from Yarmouth down to Stanton, it's a wonderful, a lot of it's heritage coastline too, so it's protected. No better part of the world, as far as I'm concerned.
After the break, is this the start of a beautiful relationship?
I hate to say it, but I think I've just fallen in love.
Yes. Come back here.
I hope it's with the house.
This is absolutely beautiful.